Hey everyone, welcome. It's Beth at the Magic Studio. It's Wednesday, July 29th. Normally I do a reading on Mondays, but I just got so caught up in cleaning in my old studio that I just didn't sit down to do a reading. So I'm doing it today, and it's the full moon, and there's a lot going on in the sky as always. It's crazy. So yeah, today is a good day to do a reading. I'm back in my new place, and yeah, it's a perfect time. And again, I'm out of my studio because I'm on my couch because my studio's just a whirlwind right now, and I have nowhere to read the cards. So a little bit about the astrology. We have moved nodes. The moon's nodes have moved into the Aquarius Leo configuration, but we will be having, I believe, a Pisces, one last Pisces lunar eclipse in Virgo coming up. In at the end of the month, end of August. But otherwise, we are starting a new nodal shift, so a new destiny shift. The energy around this is the balance between claiming our desires and really like being like living out our desires and what we want, and then kind of looking at the broader community and asking, like, what does the community need? How can I contribute to the greater whole? And ideally, we find the space where those two things are one, like where our own desires and the world's desires meet, and that's called vocation. There's a famous quote about that, can't remember, but so this is what we're looking at in the next 18 months is really our vocation and how it serves a greater need. So this is right in line with art, and when I first read that quote years and years ago, it really inspired me to change my art, to make it not just about me, to see it how it fits in a greater picture and a greater community in the greater world, and history. And so yeah, I think I started to become kind of a global person at that point, like just in the way I think, and not just about my own personal struggles and my own personal practices and how that, like overcoming my own inner conflicts and programming and all those things, which we have to do, but seeing it in a big picture. So that's going on. We also have the full moon today, and the moon is conjunct Pluto. In fact, the exact conjunction was just like an hour ago or something. And the moon moves fast, so it's already moving away. But that conjunction is super and super important because it happened at the same time as the full moon, which is the moon sun opposition, and Jupiter is Cazimi with the sun. So Jupiter is in direct alignment with the sun, Pluto is in direct alignment with the moon. The two are opposite each other. This is really, really big astrology. The kind of the biggest of the year, which is hard to imagine because this year has just been nonstop. So we may not see the repercussions exactly today, although some of you might, but something is going to play out that we have put into motion. And so today I want to do a reading about that because it's such a big deal. And so this is a community reading. I'm going to use 4 cards. I was just listening to Rachel Lang's post today, who's another wonderful astrologer who I read and listen to. And so I was listening to what she said today, and she was talking about this other configuration that's happening right now called the Hammer of Thor. And the Hammer of Thor brings in Venus and Mars, I believe, into this hammer shape. And there's anyway, I'm not going to go into the astrology. You can go listen to her explanation. But what she was saying is that our desires, our dreams and desires that we are working with right now are in this larger basket, the Babos basket, or however you want to call it, of the solar system, of the stars, of the planets, I mean. And within this, there is this hammer of Thor happening, which is like when I think of the hammer of Thor, I immediately think of protection. But there's other aspects of it about it. It's about justice, which we would all love to see. I'm all for justice. And it's also about like making space for something to happen, like creating the pathway to make something happen. It just might not happen right away because there's going to be resistance. Like if any of you have noticed, when we have a desire and we put it out there, that's when all the walls start coming up around us. It's like the world is saying, no, you can't do that. You can't be an artist. You can't have what you need, whatever it is. Like, and so it's like, okay, how much do I want this? What do I need to do to open that pathway? So within this Hammer of Thor configuration, we can expect miracles. Miracles can happen, but there's a delay and there's resistance, and we need to put in the work. We just can't sit back and wait and go, okay, well, it's a delay, so I'll just wait. No, we have to actually do something, create some kind of action, create some kind of motion to dispel this resistance, and then we may get rewarded for that. So I'm going to do a 4-card reading around this, and so I'm just going to quickly pick the cards for the first, and oh, lovely, 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 and the second, and ooh, okay. All right, third, and okay. Well, this is interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so from an artist perspective, let's look at the cards. So the first one is, and I have it written, I have the 4 things written down here because I didn't want to mess them up. The first one is our desire. So this 2 of Wands really beautifully speaks of desire. We are here in our castle. We're here sort of in our comfort, I guess, some kind of comfort. But what we see out there is bigger. Like we're behind walls. We're kept somehow. We're maybe even stuck. But look at this guy. He has the world in his hands. He's looking out into the world. He's like, okay, things are good. Like, look at the lovely clothes he has. Look at the beautiful castle walls. I mean, everything is good there. But there's something out there that's even better or different or exciting. It's like, I want to go out there. I want to be bigger. I know the castle. I know this castle. I know its walls. I know its people. I know how it works. What else works? What's a bigger space? Like, so this is our desire. That works for me. I hope that works for you. Now there's the tension or the resistance that is meeting that desire. Interesting. So that is a strong force. The King of Cups. It's not a major arcana. It's not like the devil or the tower or some kind of like out of our control force. But let's look at it. King of Cups, I'm just trying to, sorry, it's these, these cards are really, there, that's kind of a good. So the King of Cups, what's the resistance? Well, the resistance could be a could be our emotional states. Like when I think of the King of Cups, I think of emotional states. We could have it could be another person. So there could be a king figure in your life that is not like that is resisting. It could be our sense of duty to our, what we've created, our own kingdom. So the resistance is showing up as some kind of perhaps even a lack of dream. Like maybe you're still lacking the vision. Maybe you still don't quite know what you want. Like if you don't know what you want, it's going to be pretty hard to move into that space. So I think when I look at the King of Cups in that resistance place, I'm looking at fear. There is a lot of fear and of stepping off. Like I'm seeing his little foot tippy-toeing off his platform into the water, but he's not going in. Like the kings tend to like I see the queens as the peak expression of the suit, and then the kings might be a bit on the other side where things have gotten a bit too solidified, and they need to start into a lighter space. They need to go back to the aces again. Not always, but in this case, I think that we're being withheld by fear, and we're afraid to make that step. Where's our guy? We're in our comfort zone. We're in our like we've got somewhere, like we have something, like things are good, and the fear to step into the unknown and possibly give up our comfort, give up what we've created, and to go into something bigger. And this is like the age old, age old. So I would, and it could, like the waters they don't look super friendly. They're not calm. There's turmoil, there's movement, there's waves. So he's good on his little platform, but does he really want to go out into like the crazy unknown and build new relationships and create new connections and do all the work involved in going off into these bigger spaces? I see there's a little ship. You probably can't see it, but there's a little ship in the background. And that little ship is off in the seas. And so I'm really like whenever a cup shows up in resistance, there's probably going to be fear. There could be fear from other people around you, like, oh, are you sure you want to do that? That sounds scary, or that sounds dangerous, or that sounds expensive, or whatever. You know, other people's fear might be showing up, and your own fear might be showing up. So, the next one is the work necessary to create the shift, change the events, and like make room for a miracle. So, right here we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, I find this is a tricky card in this position because it's asking for the work that's necessary, and this person is like the epitome of inaction. So they're like they're hoarding or protecting or being very careful. They're like fours are very still and grounded, and so it's not that much different from this card or this card. Like there's not a lot of action in the action card. So how do I interpret that? Well, when I see this card, I often see it as a sign to don't overspend, like save your money right now. Maybe you need to save your money in order to make a trip possible, like make a bigger thing possible. The person himself, he's just he's relaxed and content. He doesn't have this like hoarding face on. It's not stern. Maybe I might think of it as doing a money ritual. So maybe this person is in the process of creating more wealth for themselves. And so I think maybe that's the action to take, like underlying this is what can you do to create more wealth for yourself? Maybe one thing is not spend so much. Another thing might be to, like in my case, having more paintings to sell, like doing the work behind the scenes, like making more art so that I have art to sell so that I can create more wealth. So something like that. So maybe we're feeling depleted, and this is a message to call the energy in, call yourself back in. When I see fours, I often think of meditation and slowing down, like the Four of Swords, resting. So the Four of Cups is the same thing. It's kind of, or the Four of Pentacles rather. It's resting, but maybe it's more collecting and bringing things in, bringing your energy in, taking care of your health, taking care of your space, tidying up your house, fixing up your room, cleaning your studio, things like that. And like I also said, making work, like having let's say, you know, all these pentacles that this person is sitting on. In my case, maybe they're paintings, like having a group of paintings that I can sell in order to go into the bigger world, or maybe sell in the bigger world. So I hope you're getting what I'm saying here. And then the final result, divine timing, is the Six of Pentacles. And so how I'm seeing this card in this in this reading is the sixes are always wonderful, wonderful cards. They are a blessing, they are a gift. They're like a peak experience. And so we are having a peak financial experience. And this has to do with Thor's hammer, like having that miracle come in. And so in this reading, I would say that if we do these things, the money is going to flow. The money is going to come in to allow us to have that bigger experience, to move out of the old, oh, no, sorry, the old place that we're in, the old comfort, and move into this bigger space. So there's nothing that, for the fourth card, there's nothing we do. It's just, it just is. So you could see this. You could see this card as the actual hand of God. Not that I see God as a male figure, like, you know, dropping coins down to the, you know, the outstretched arms, but in this, like in this case, that's how I would read it, is that the financial abundance is coming to allow us to move into this bigger space. And so what I want, you know, the two things to look at, the two main things to look at, because the two things that we actually have some control over, because the first two cards, we don't, it's just sort of the context where we are. And the last card is the hand of God. The two cards we have control over are the Four of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So looking at our emotional states, making a list of our fears, why we think we can't do that, what we're afraid of, what we're afraid might happen, what we think people will say, all that kind of stuff. Like, get that out of your system. Like, start writing it down and really looking at it and examining it and finding an opposite energy to go, well, I can't do this because I don't, you know, I can't live a bigger life. I can't, you know, move into the world in this way because, you know, dot, dot, dot. And then find a way to turn that phrase around and say, well, I can do this because of this. Like finding those opposite phrases to, counter your fears and resistance, and then finding the Four of Pentacles, like how you want to, how you need to behave while while still expecting divine abundance to come and help. So you need to do something. In this case, what I've been saying for months is make more art. Like, make your art, make your space, create a home, create, like, with what you have, create now, and then open to receive. So this was a lot longer than normal, so sorry about that, but I hope it helped. And yeah, blessings on this very important full moon. All right, bye everyone.